Hey guys, I'm Denise.
And I'm Lindsay, and we're Born This Gay.
Welcome. This is our channel, Born This Gay. We are the channel for all your LGBT content. We do episodes about, relative things to our lives and hopefully give you a couple tips as well. Today is no tips day. It's mostly, we want to share some history of what we
we got a pretty special month right now. It is Women's History Month.
Yeah.
So we this episode we want to bring forward 4 women that we have come across that have made a big impact in the LGBTQ plus community. So we wanted to share their stories with you guys, a little bit about their past, and hopefully give you guys a little bit of an upper, look back on how things used to be and then how they are now. So,
hey,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but first, I suppose we got to start off with a little bit of apology. We did miss our upload last week, but we have good things to report, guys. I got a job, finally. I did start my job at Specs Liquor Store this week. If you're not from Texas and you don't know what Specs is, I did find out that Specs is only in Texas.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. They're only a Texas company, and they were forever only will be a Texas company.
Wow. Okay,
yeah,
Specs,
so
Texas
anyone
proud.
outside of Texas, you'll have to come to Texas to visit a Specs.
Fine.
So yeah, I've been working there. I put in 40 hours in my first week, so I'm feeling good. I'm a little sore. I've never carried so many just full boxes of liquor. Those are heavy, guys. If you've ever carried just 12 bottles of liquor in a box, it gets pretty heavy after a while.
So you're basically getting your workout while you're okay.
Yeah. So sadly, we haven't really been to the gym in a while since I did start this job because, man, those hours have been killing me.
Hey, that's fine.
Yeah, just up and down a ladder with boxes. But
you're getting your squats in. You're getting your arm workout. You're getting your back workout, but don't lift with your back.
See, and I've been so conscious about squat and stand up.
Good.
Yeah. Back is straight. There's never a divot in my back. I'm always a straight bend or straight up. So I'm never using my back to lift.
Okay.
Which I refuse to hurt my back again so soon. No. So.
Yeah. So like she said, we haven't been back to the gym. Before we missed an upload, though, I will say we're hitting some records. So I'm pretty proud of those. I think you and I can now comfortably do more than 3/4 of a mile.
Oh yeah.
Which is nice, right?
Yeah, you hit a full mile the other day. Did you not?
Did I don't know if I did. No, you hit the full mile.
I thought you ran.
Yeah.
You were so close.
Yeah,
I remember watching you, and I was like, "Come on, Denise, keep running. Keep running, Denise."
No. It's okay. Yeah, baby steps, guys.
Baby steps. You run faster than I do. Is the thing. I'll run slower for longer. You like the sprints. I like to stick with the run, maybe a jog.
Understood. It's those videos. I listen to those coaches yelling at me.
Yes,
so
I'm running. I promise I'm running.
Start off nice and slow, and then they build, and when they build, it doesn't matter how tired I am. For some reason, the music builds, and I get excited.
That's the power of the audio that you listen to when you're working out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I try to make sure that there's video stimulation and audio stimulation, so I'm not there. Otherwise, the only thing I can think about is, God, this hurts.
It's so long. I've only been running for 8 minutes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So understood. But yeah, no, that pretty much your job. I'm pretty proud of you. So once we get Lindsay back into her finances situated, then we can
we'll
look at the. I guess school was your next.
School was after that.
Okay,
yeah. So still got to finish up the getting the finances in order to go to school. But we got week 1 out the way, so we'll see what this first paycheck looks like, and then. We'll go from there. So I'm pretty excited to see what the future holds.
Fuck yeah. All right. So now Women's History, guys.
Whoop,
so
whoop,
it is Women's Appreciation Month. Women's History Month? Is it Women's History Month? I have no idea. Is it actually coined Women's History Month?
I thought that's what you said it was. I was quoting you.
Oh, how funny. I'm pretty sure it's Women's History Month.
All right, well, so don't quote us on that, but it's some kind of woman history, some kind of Women's Appreciation Month. Yes.
All right, guys. You're watching 2 girls in their spare room, so you got to.
We're baby steps. We're working on it. Yeah. But anyways, it's always a good time to appreciate women of our past.
Yeah.
So.
No, for real. So
no matter what month it is, let's go ahead and appreciate these women.
We want to give you some members of the LGBTQ community as far as the women go, and it was actually fun for me because I got to kind of dive in to lesbian or just women in general, just LGBT members from our history that I didn't know anything about.
Oh,
so
for
that
sure.
was awesome.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like I Denise does all the research for our podcast. I will say I need to get a little bit better on the research side, but I read some of the stories of the people that she found, and I was even surprised. Like, there's some people that I had no idea that they accomplished so much in their lives, and then on top of everything, they were dating women the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Yeah. So
yeah, it was funny to see some, like, we're not going to go into all of them because there were a lot of women apparently that are LGBT friendly in the past, but there were some really famous names that I was extremely surprised about, as far as like the, you know, because those aren't things that you would get in your history books in school, guys. Sorry, they're not gonna
put that. They're not gonna put that in there. No, unfortunately not.
I wish they did have some type of LGBT history. I would take that class, like you know just like oh man, yeah, if they had that, like, or even if that was part of like the GLAD program, you know, that would be kind of cool to just learn, you know.
I imagine I would imagine in the next like 100 years we will have some type of history class for LGBT.
Yeah, or just in general marginalized, because there's so many things that are left out of our history books in public schools, and I know a lot of people, they are people, but a lot of groups, LGBT being one of them, we are a little angry about that, but that's okay.
I mean,
you know?
like we have a lot of history. We've overcome a lot. Like, let the world know.
And yet I still learn about the same, you know, forefathers every year. But
right, it's all right. Baby steps. We're getting there.
We're getting there. So, who'd you pick?
So I picked let's see here. I picked politician Barbara Jordan, as well as Nurse Florence Nightingale. Both of these women, their stories really stood out to me, mainly because they shared one common thing, to where they weren't out until after their passing. They were in secret relationships their whole life, and the relationships became known after they passed. So I thought that was just like wow, like they, you know, their whole lives they've been with a woman, and like history just kind of overlooked all of that.
Oh yeah.
And then in their obituaries, it's like, oh yeah, she was living with someone for 20 years.
It's crazy how that's the only recognition that her partner can get, and it's literally in an obituary, and it's literally usually like a sentence of was living with a different woman, you know. And that defines your relationship, even though a 20-year relationship with someone should be celebrated.
Right. Man, which two did you pick then?
I picked Sally Ride. So she was one of the first women astronauts in space. And then I also picked Sylvia Rivera, who we might get a little hate from, but she is a transgender woman, which I thought was pretty important, especially right now going in Texas. But yeah, sorry. I mean, guys, you can hate me to say this if you want to, but transgender women, they're women.
They're women.
I
think, in my opinion, they should be able to play sports. Yeah. Like, they're women. Just like we're women.
Yeah, if you disagree, you can hop off now. I have no problem with that.
No problem with that.
Here in Texas right now, we just passed a law.
No, I don't know if you saw that. Oh. A judge ruled it
unconstitutional.
A no-go. So it's not going to be a law passed.
Okay, so they tried to pass a law.
They tried very hard to pass a law.
Yeah, it made headlines and everything like that. Apparently our attorney general and our governor thought it was a good idea to label any type of trans treatment as child abuse.
Yeah, for anyone under the age of 18. So that being said, like, if you are a parent and your child came out as trans to you and you tried to help them through that process, you could be prosecuted for child abuse, and the state could take away your child.
Which is really gross, in my opinion.
And just like we're going to get a little bit of deep here, but like all of the mental health and the suicide issues that you have with young trans people, and it's just not fair to tear them away from their family when they're going through something so huge to them. Yeah. So that was a little bit off topic there, but
no, I mean, yeah, but again, it's something that I do feel like we need to bring a little of attention to, because it is true. Like, there's still people out there in the LGBT community, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, that still contemplate suicide instead of living their true lives. Like,
instead of like just being them.
Yeah, exactly. That's still a major thing, and it's weird to think about, because in my circle, I've grown to where I don't care anymore. So to me, it doesn't, most of my friends, we're out and proud. We're not closeted. But yeah, just to think there are still people out there. And that's one of the reasons we even made this channel is we're here to, if you are that person out there who's contemplating suicide versus, just being in your real life, like, I mean, look, guys, there's people out there who are just like you, and they get loved, and
you make it through it. Like, I think majority of people coming through their first coming out stages, they go through a lot just inside your head. Like, it doesn't even have to be, like, as you say, real life problems with quotation marks around them. Like, it can be in your head, and you have all these negative thoughts, like, making you feel one way, or maybe people won't accept you or people won't like you, but it's all wrong, guys. Like, there are people out there who will accept you for who you are. And if you have people in your life that don't accept you for that, then they're not meant to be in your life. Like, it's hard to say, and it might be hard to let them go, but
that's true. That's one thing that I will say seemed like a curse at first, but really is a blessing. Is in our community, we a lot of the times we have a chosen family. We don't really blood for a lot of people. Family is everything, and I completely understand that. I come from a Hispanic line, so I understand family everything as far as that goes. But at the same time, if you're not accepted by your bloodline, there's the opportunity to make a chosen family, which I have done for myself.
That is true.
And I'm very happy with, because I do love my chosen family. We're not blood related, but I would shank a bitch for people. So.
Yeah, I would go to jail for my friends. You can build your own little family. You can build your own little community to where you can feel safe to be who you are. Yep. And no one will judge you for it.
Agreed. Yep. So all right, so Miss I will let you go. First, Miss Barbara Jordan, I guess.
Miss Barbara Jordan.
Read me a little bit about her.
All right. So she is she's given the title Politician Barbara Jordan because she was heavily involved in politics throughout her life. So here's a little bit about her. There are plenty of firsts with Barbara Jordan, an attorney who's best known for being the first African-American to be elected into the U.S. House of Representatives from Texas. I'm going to say that again, from Texas.
Hey,
that's a big thing right there.
That's hard to do.
From Texas. And the first post-Reconstruction African-American state senator. Another first for Jordan included being the first woman and the first African-American to deliver a keynote address to the Democratic National Convention. So, like, not only was she just the first woman, but she was also the first African-American to do this. So, like, that's just, you're feeding two birds with one hand there. That is an amazing accomplishment. She authored the first successful minimum wage bill in Texas, and she served as governor for the day in 1972, becoming the first African-American woman to serve as a chief executive in any of the states. In 1979, she moved away from politics and became a professor at the University of Texas at Austin.
Hey.
UT, for anyone who needs clarification there.
Longhorns, guys.
Whoop,
Longhorns.
More of a Horned Frog fan myself, but
SMU?
No, TCU.
TCU. Okay.
TCU.
Sorry, the purple.
The purple. I like purple.
Okay, gotcha.
So became a professor at the University of Texas at Austin. President Bill Clinton awarded her the Medal of Freedom in 1994. 2 years later, Jordan passed. It was revealed in her obituary that she had been in a more than 20-year relationship with her partner, Nancy Earl. So that's what I said, brought to what I said earlier. She, lived her whole life. She was a very famous, well-known influencer in politics. She was gay the whole time.
So if she's famous, and this is in the 70s, I feel like, I wonder if she has any articles about her, because I feel like if she was famous, she was a politician. That means she was running for office of some sort.
Right.
She had a competition. She had someone opposing her.
So
I wonder if it got brought up.
We might have to look into that.
Yeah, because, wow.
Especially
Barbara
with
Jordan.
Politics, you think that, like, people do digging to, like, bash their opponents.
Oh, then again, we are from this generation.
That is true.
So that may have not been a thing.
In the 70s.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't born in the 70s. I wasn't alive. I think my mom had just been born, so.
Yeah, my mom was, like, 2 when all of this was going on.
Interesting.
Wow. Yeah, so we'll have to look into that a little bit more, but I thought that's cool, the fact that she made such a big impact in the politics, just overcoming race, overcoming gender, and then also being gay throughout all of it.
Wow, yeah. Miss Barbara, get you some.
Yeah,
Get
boss.
you some.
For sure,
Yeah.
a boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think she was probably my favorite that I read out of the ones that you sent me. Just especially in that time in the 70s, like, or she's probably coming up there in she's probably coming up into her political career in like the late 60s too. So this was right at the start of the hippie age. So maybe it wasn't all that out there for her to be gay, if that was at the...
In Texas, though.
That is
we're
true.
in Texas.
That is true.
It's even now where, you know, it's 2020s and people still hate gay people in Texas. It's so boring.
Find something else to hate, guys. Like,
right?
Move past it. We've been over this.
So yeah, I can't even imagine 50 years ago how hard that was. So
Yeah.
get you some.
Wow, she had 3 huge obstacles to overcome in that one there.
I've picked a astronaut. So as far as my woman, this is astronaut Sally Ride.
I feel like the astronaut fits you and your engineer.
Oh yeah,
field,
yeah.
so.
She was a scientist and a physicist.
Wow.
So those are both subjects that I am very fascinated with. I feel extremely stupid whenever we're in any type of physics class and things go over my head, but it's awesome because it's like a mystery. It's like physics is like.
I'm glad you look at education that way because it's kind of hard for people to pick up physics. So I'm glad you see it as hard. I'm glad you see it as a happy problem. For me, if I saw a physics problem, then I would be like, so can I switch classes now, or do I just got to drop out in general?
Funny,
like, is that
funny? Yeah, no. With physics, it's more of it's a challenge that I take on full-heartedly. I was a freshman and I had a sophomore in college that was I was asking him. I was like, I have to take physics next semester. Who do you recommend? He's like, I can give you 2 options. I can give you either one, this teacher. Now he's really easy. You're gonna get an A. You make sure you do your homework and you turn it in, and the tests are just like the homework, no problem.
Right,
you'll be fine.
Easy class. That would have been my route.
Class. Yeah, okay. And then he's like, and then you have this other guy, and this guy, you will learn so much, but you will probably, it's really hard.
You're gonna get like a C, maybe a B-.
You're not gonna do really well, but he's really good with, I guess, explaining things and making them, I suppose relative.
That's what you go to school for, is
exactly.
to actually learn.
Exactly. So I looked at it and I was like, I'm gonna go with the hard guy, just because I'm there. I'm paying over $1,000 for one class.
So you might as well learn something from that class.
I wanna walk out, with something that I didn't know. And I will say that his class was the hardest. I was able to get A's on just about every course that I did, except for his class. I couldn't do it. Yeah, he was. Well,
you were warned going into it, so you knew exactly what to expect.
Yeah. He even, like, the first day of school, he's like, only 10% of you are gonna get an A. That's guaranteed. And I'm like, oh, great. I'm not that 10.
I wasn't even 10% in my high school, so it's not gonna be me.
She's a badass, a physicist and an astronaut. Sally Ride was the first American woman in space. Nice. Yeah.
I like the story already. Let's go.
So as a physics student at Stanford, Ride answered a newspaper ad for female astronauts and became one of 6 women picked. She flew on the space shuttle in 1983 and 1984, controlling the robotic arm, the tool that places satellites in space. So that was her thing. I will say, guys, we are going to link all of the sources that we got. We'll link them in the description. I don't want to plagiarize anyone, or I don't want to make it seem like I did all this research. No, I didn't. We just read an article. But yeah, after she left NASA, Ride taught at the University of California in San Diego. So she's from Southern California. I gotta say, I love that weather.
SoCal.
Oh, and upon her death in 2012, it was her obituary that revealed
I love it.
That she had been in a relationship with a woman, Tam O'Shaughnessy. I butchered that last name, and I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right.
I'm going to put that last name up right here, so that way you can see.
It
was not an easy last name for y'all at home. I'm sorry if you're just listening to this via audio. Yeah, it's craziness. A lot of S's. Shaughnessy. Anyway,
Like
so yeah, she was with this
Mississippi
woman for
Love
27 years. 27.
27 years.
27. She was an astronaut. She worked for NASA.
Wow.
And yet, yeah, probably.
I wonder what, like, she would have, like, in the 80s. In the 80s is when she was, like, heavily involved with the flying and everything, or the being
80s,
out in space and stuff.
84.
I wonder what at that time, like, NASA's, like, code was. Like,
yeah, me
regulations
too.
were for,
because I know military, again, federal government, so NASA and military aren't exactly the same,
right?
But yeah, I know military would have a don't ask, don't tell.
I wonder if it was one of the same for NASA. Because I feel like the thing with the military is, like, they do the whole don't ask, don't tell to prevent things from getting, I guess, sticky in a situation like that, when you're just in close quarters with people of the same sex for long periods of times. They don't want anything to happen. I would imagine it'd be the same thing being stuck up in space.
Either that, or there had to be some type of, I know that a lot of contracts or a lot of jobs, they come with what's called a morality clause. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
she had to keep a certain
that could also
face
be
for the public.
Yeah, I know teachers are very much they have to sign that away. Basically, morality. That's why a lot of teachers don't have social media. That's why a lot of teachers are in the closet if they're LGBT, because before this past 2 years, you could be fired.
That's wild.
Depending on
wild.
what you signed
But you
away.
don't see someone getting fired for marrying a man.
No,
like,
of course
just
not. No. Well, because that's normal.
Ugh. Gross.
Right? Like,
Anyways,
who wants to be normal?
Let's move forward.
But yeah, so she died. That's when they revealed that she was with a woman, and then in 2013, our president, which at the time was Obama, he honored Ride with a Presidential Medal of Freedom, because apparently she inspired generations of young girls to reach for the stars, and later fought tirelessly to help them get there by advocating for a greater focus on science and math in our schools.
Wow.
Sally's life showed us that there are no limits to what we can achieve. And that's his quote. Yeah. So I loved it. Loved it.
So that's the both two women that we have gotten have both received the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Mm-hmm. Wow, we picked some pretty good women for our history here.
And yet I wonder if either president even mentioned that she was part of the LGBT community. Probably not. But if I'm corrected, correct me, guys.
I would say I doubt Clinton said anything of such. But Obama's probably it's a toss-up. We'd have to do a little bit more research into that to see if he actually said something with that.
All right, so you're next.
All right. So my next woman that I chose is Nurse Florence Nightingale, which I believe I've actually heard of her in history books, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But they don't mention anything that I'm about to mention about her life.
Guys.
Yeah,
so this is the what do you call it when the director's cut of your history book, right?
This is it. Yeah. So we're giving you the behind the scenes footage that they didn't want to show y'all right at the beginning there.
Oh, it drives me. Yeah.
All right. So likely the most famous nurse in all of history, which I could probably agree with that statement. Florence Nightingale was working as a nurse in London when she learned of the deplorable conditions sick soldiers faced during the Crimean War in the 1850s. At the behest of the Secretary of War, Sidney Herbert, Nightingale was tasked with forming a team of nurses to help tend the soldiers in Crimea. She pulled together a team of nearly 40 nurses and set off to, I have the pronunciation for this word here. And I forgot. Dang.
Better than me, bro. At least you wrote down there. Lindsay came prepared.
Stickery. Shoot. I've even practiced this. Gosh dang it.
Scootery?
It's Stuckery. Okay. She pulled together a team of nearly 40 nurses and set off to Stuckery, where they helped vastly improve the sanitary conditions of the infirmary there. With money bestowed upon her from her heroism during the Crimean War by Queen Victoria, Nightingale founded St. Thomas's Hospital and the Nightingale Training School for Nurses. having contracted a bacterial infection while in Crimea. By age 38, Nightingale was primarily confined to her home, if not her bed. So, I mean, that's a young age to be bedridden for life, in a sense. That is awful. But all the people that she helped before that, that's amazing. Nightingale never married, but she was reportedly completely devoted to various women in her life.
Oh, is that Excuse me. Nightingale?
Including her cousin, Marianne Nicholson, to whom she wrote, "I have never loved but one person with passion in my life, and that was her."
Interesting.
Right. So, I mean, cousin is a little hairy there.
Always.
But the fact that she reportedly was devoted to various women throughout her life. So, like, in her day and age, in the 1850s, she was known as a lesbian. But you won't read that in your history books.
No, they're not going to.
There are multiple reports of her being with women, but no one will tell you that.
I wonder what they call, like, her partners, if they were just like, oh, no, they're just great. You know how you get friends. They were just friends.
They were just friends. They lived together.
For 20 years.
They even share the same bed, you know. I guess they can't afford a second one.
Oh, okay. Denial.
Yeah, but I mean, wow.
All right, Miss Florence Nightingale.
For any of those who don't know where Crimea is, it's actually a European peninsula, kind of just off the side of the map there. But yeah, so that's where she became
in
famous.
The 1800s too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, in the 1800s, she's a known lesbian. But she also, I mean, saved countless lives. So I mean, I guess people didn't really think too much about it since she was providing so much or something. Or
yeah. What I'm now realizing is a lot of the people that we pick probably, you know, they kind of went under the radar a little bit. I'm wondering if there are people that we should be reading about but we didn't, that were like jailed for you know, living. That'll be a next episode then. That'll be an episode in the work there. We'll have to, maybe later, guys. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. You know, people who were found guilty of a LGBT crime, because I know
homosexuality or content or something like that.
Yeah, no, I mean in certain areas it is definitely illegal.
You would go to jail for it.
Yeah, so the fact that these women were able to, especially back in the day, 1800s. Fly under the radar. Yeah.
Right. But not even under the radar, because the fact that they say that, like, people have reported her being devoted to other women in her life. Like devoted is such a word to use for that, too. So, like, she was, like, I'm imagining she was, like affection towards them and, like...
Well, I mean, back then, though, we also live in a time where public display of affection is actually normal.
That's true.
Even my parents don't like pictures of people kissing. They don't like it's just weird.
No, I'll see. I'll watch TV with my mom or something, and this like really just like out there commercial would come on, and I would see her face and I would look at her and be like, what? And she'd be like, my mother would have a heart attack if she saw that commercial on TV. Like, just the things that we're used to seeing nowadays, like 50 years ago, that wasn't on TV.
Porn.
Yeah. To bring it up.
Yeah. Craziness. Okay. And then, all right, last one, guys. Promise you with your history lesson.
I was like, we got a little history lesson there. But I feel like these are cool women to learn about. So
it's Women's History Month, guys. Y'all can get educated.
Or some kind of women
1 hour.
We'll figure it out.
Yes.
Some kind of women's month.
Women's History Month, which I'm actually pretty happy about. I didn't know March was our month until it came up in my calendar. I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
There we go. I mean, we should make it known more. We should make it known.
Yeah. So, like I said, my next woman is a trans woman. So, for those of you who are going to put some shade on, I don't care. You know, trans women are women. So,
I mean, at the same time, this is our podcast, too. So, we're going to talk about what we want to talk about.
That's right. But the reason I picked her is because she was part of Stonewall, Miss Sylvia Rivera. Do you know what Stonewall is?
I didn't know what it was until you told me about it, and this was a couple years ago. This is when I first turned 21, and we were going to the gay bars for the first time. I think we were at like 1851.
Maybe.
If I'm not mistaken, the first time you told me the Stonewall story.
Okay, yeah, for my young gay crowd who need to brush up on their history.
It's okay, guys. I'm going to be listening intently on this one too.
Yeah, no, Stonewall, and I'm going to get it wrong for the older gay crowd, so I apologize already. But yeah, it was basically a riot. So what happened is back in the 70s, 60s, getting raided at a gay bar was very normal. It's just something, for some reason, the police used to just love to come in and raid the bar, arrest people. You know, a lot of people got, hurt and things like that.
Gross.
So in 1969, at the Stonewall Inn, which was a gay bar back then, a raid occurred. But this time, the patrons fought back. They fought against the police.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So they
fight the power.
Hey, they did. They did. They went on a march after that. I think the march lasted like 2 days. Wow. Like it was like a huge deal. And it kind of kicked off the gay rights movement of our time, and what you kind of hear not in your history class, but in history if you Google it.
Not in your history class.
But yeah, so let me read a little article about Miss Sylvia. So Sylvia Rivera, transgender activist, was one of the first women to throw a bottle at the Stonewall Inn raid in 1969. Hey. Rivera was a founding member of the Gay Liberation Front and the Gay Activist Alliance. A pioneer of transgender rights, she was once quoted saying, "Hell hath no fury like a drag queen scorn." Love it, bitch.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Apparently, like, she would speak at a lot of, gay events after that. She was, just big activist. So, Miss Sylvia, I got to give it to you. Thank you. But yeah, she was best known for her participation in the uprisings of Stonewall. And the bar was in New York City. So when police raided the bar, patrons fought back. After these uprisings, LGBTQ plus community members founded the Gay Activist Alliance, the GAA. Rivera campaigned with the GAA to urge New York City to end discrimination against LGBT residents. However, the GAA's leadership often rejected the role of trans people, many who were people of color. So Rivera worked with Marsha P. Johnson, another very infamous person in the Stonewall revolt. So she worked with her to create STAR, the Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries. Okay. Rivera and Johnson provided a home and family for young LGBT people through STAR. They organized and protested around issues affecting the community in New York. So yeah, so Miss Sylvia Rivera, love it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I do remember that back then transgender wasn't even a word; it was transvestite. So that was the normal. If you felt like you were in the wrong body, that was your identifier. But yeah, craziness. The Stonewall. Wow. So much history, guys. That's a big one. If you don't know Stonewall and you're gay,
go ahead and quick Google. Quick Google.
Yeah, quick Google. Yeah. Wiki same thing. There's a lot of documentaries. The only reason I learned about it is because we had a raid here in Texas a couple of years ago. I want to say at least 10 years ago, maybe 15 now, to where in Fort Worth, one of our gay bars, the Rainbow Lounge, sure got raided by TABC. People got hurt. There was people who had like gashes in their heads and things like that. Yeah, happened. Yeah, sure did.
Wow. Man, and even just to say, like, even 15, going on 15, maybe 20 years ago, like, that still seems close.
Yeah.
Like, too close for comfort.
I had just came out. Yeah, I was newly out. I want to say it was in 2000 or 2008. I want to say 2008, 2009 is when it happened. So I just came out. I just moved out. I just got, I hadn't even gone to my first gay bar yet. Like, it was, I was still new. And yeah, hearing that that was kind of my new, guys. Like, that was kind of my norm, is people didn't like gay people, and going out to a bar, and it was one of our very few safe spaces, especially here in Texas. And yeah, we got raided.
Wow. How unfortunate. That's just, that's sad to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why history is so important. I know this might have been a boring episode, and I apologize. But at the same time, these are very important women, and they did things
and
for
I feel
us.
like they deserve to have their stories told.
Hell yeah. We should have gratitude towards these amazing people who just decided, fuck what anyone says. I'm gonna live the life I want. I'm gonna accomplish these amazing fucking things.
Right.
And at the same time, I'm gonna enjoy the I'm gonna enjoy the love life I want to enjoy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, maybe they might have been really depressed too while going through it. That might be why they hit it. But
it could be. That could be.
But yeah, still the fact that again, people, even if we're gay, we're not low lives. We can accomplish some pretty badass things.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we're still people at the end of the day. It's just who we love. That's all. It's the only thing that's different.
Yeah. All right, guys. So yeah, that gives you a history lesson from us too. Today, I will say it was really awesome to learn about the various women in our lives. We didn't even cover a half.
We said 4, guys. Yeah. We 4, and we did like a little paragraph on each of them. Like that wasn't even their full stories. Like they had full lives to live. They did so much throughout those, and of course, like we said, we didn't hit everybody. No. So
go on a deep dive, guys. You might learn something. I will say, as far as if you want any other material, I do know that Milk is a really good, if you're a movie person. I learned a lot with Milk. Milk was really good for me. I also, I guess, that's what started my, because most of the people I know now are pretty modern relative.
Right.
Yeah, my daikons, which we already went over.
Right? Oh, yeah, we like our daikons.
Yeah. But okay, so now, as always, we're gonna share some coming out stories.
Whoop whoop. Yeah, this is my favorite part of the episodes that we do.
Me too, guys. If y'all wanna send us some, so that way we're entertained. I really like reading y'all stories.
Yeah, for recently we've been doing people that we know, a couple of friends, maybe friends of friends, and then a couple of different articles. But we're ready to hear some of y'all's stories also. If y'all want to go ahead and submit them to us, you can either leave them down in the comments, or we will include our email down below. It is going to be borngaypodcast@gmail.com. Y'all can shoot us an email with your story, and you can specify whether you want to stay anonymous or not. And we look forward to sharing those stories, y'all.
Yeah. All right. So my first one is going to be from a good friend of mine. I worked with her back at the bar. Ironically, she just showed up one day, and I could tell she was gay, right? Because she had the backwards hat. And guys, don't wear a backwards hat if you're straight. But
it's a mind fuck. Don't do it. It's not fair.
But she had the backwards hat, and I remember I wasn't sure if she was gay at first because she did have a kid. But then it was a little fun fact about this person. She decided she was a gold star and decided to go out and try, and so she got her silver star. So she slept with one guy and then got pregnant.
Wow. Off the first time.
Gosh. Yeah.
I would say that was a nightmare for me. Because I slept with a guy one time. And afterwards, I was, like, praying for my period. I was like, let me not be that lesbian. Let me not.
Oh, she's that lesbian. I love you, Desiree.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, there's a nice little fun fact about her. But a good friend of mine, we slung bottles together. So this is her story, guys. All right. So I came out when I was about 15 years old. It wasn't because I wanted to. My mom actually found some love notes from a girl I was talking to at school. My mom was not happy. She kind of was upset, and she actually didn't talk to me, which I was fine with because my mom and I don't have a good relationship. I was more worried about my dad. He's a big Christian man, and I don't live with him, so I was really worried about when he would find out, which makes sense. And I will say, as someone who also got love letters found, I was able to play it off, but that is terrifying. Yeah.
You didn't get caught kissing a girl in your room, so.
Hey, that's true.
Shit my pants.
But yeah. So the love letters, because my mom sure did. She caught them, and she was like, "What? I don't even know what the love letters said." I think at some point, I had baby, and that's what made it seem like it. But
other than that, yeah,
I don't know how I pulled it off, Mom. I don't know how you didn't know. Anyway. All right, so back to her story, Miss Desiree. So my dad called me and asked how I was, and we just small talked, but I knew he knew something. he came around and asked me, do you have something to tell me? I told him no, but he knew that I was lying, so he asked me again. Do you have a GF, a girlfriend? Do you have a girlfriend? I was really quiet and shocked, but I said yes. He asked me, do you not like men? I told him no. I said, I like girls, and I really don't want to upset you, but I know I don't like boys. He told me, I love you no matter what. You are my daughter, and I don't mind that you like girls. I just want to make sure you are happy. Yeah, I know. That's usually not what you get from your parents, so that's pretty badass. Good job, Dad. I told him yes. And he told me, if anyone ever says anything bad about you being gay, they will have to hear from me.
So not only did he was like, I accept you, but I'm gonna protect you.
Damn
now,
right,
too.
yeah.
Right.
If anyone's,
they got a problem with you, they got a problem with me.
That's right. So yeah, she says my mom eventually came around, and she has always met my partners, but my dad met my girlfriend that I've been for 5 years, or almost 5 years, and he loves her.
Aww.
So yeah. Thank you, Desiree.
That was a good one. Thank you,
Desiree.
Desiree.
That was good, yeah. So just like we've seen, a really good theme, guys, is where you come out, it's not comfortable at first, it kind of sucks, but then give it time, just be patient, right? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep going. Like, Denise knows more people than I do, if you can't tell. So I'm gonna keep reading off these this BuzzFeed article, guys. Like, we've been doing this for the past couple of episodes, and I just can't get enough of the stories I have on here. All right, guys. So the two I picked from this BuzzFeed article today. We'll start off with this first one. It's actually the first one on the page, believe it or not. But it says, I knew I was a lesbian for a while before I came out, but I was terrified to tell my parents. I feel like that sums up a lot of our situations. This one is, the author is Magnolia J. Yeah. Okay. So I knew I was a lesbian for a while before I came out, but I was terrified to tell my parents. Eventually, sick of holding it, I decided to do it via a Christmas present. That is an interesting way to come out there. Let's see where this goes. I customized a lesbian pride flag to say, I love my lesbian daughter.
Oh. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's see.
What?
Okay.
What? My mom opened it and read it aloud. Immediately, both my parents wrapped me in a hug as they cried and said things like, it's okay, and we love and accept you no matter what. They assured me they just wanted to see me happy. And then she also included a picture of the flag that she made. And I will say that's the lesbian flag, and she prints it out. I love my lesbian daughter. That is, I can't imagine coming out that way. Can you, sitting there on Christmas morning and, your parents grab that present and, your heart just sinks, as they start to open that.
Yeah.
I think
I would, so I commend you, because that is something I would not have had balls to do.
No, not at all. If I couldn't say the words, I definitely couldn't put it on something and give it to them as a gift.
Yeah. And also, I commend her mom, too, her parents, for being so supportive, because my mom probably would have unwrapped it, right, and then looked at it, and then would probably been confused. She'd probably, I don't have a lesbian daughter. Yeah. So just that awkwardness of having to explain it. She'd be like,
who's this from? Who sent this to? I don't have a lesbian daughter.
Oh man, just all the wrong things going through my mouth or mind, but get you some. I'm impressed. That's badass. I want someone to come out to me like that.
Right? I would.
If you have a lesbian friend. Here you go.
Here you go.
I love it.
I love my lesbian friend.
That was good. Okay.
All right. So my second story for today is when I was 16, I started coming out to my friends as pansexual. The author is Satan herself. What a name. All right. So I was 16 when I started to come out to my friends as pan. I decided that I also wanted to come out to my brothers. I'm the middle child and the only girl, just for reference.
Okay.
Oof, the only girl.
All right, so yeah, your boyfriends were gonna get their ass beat anyways.
Anyways, right. Okay. So I told my older brother first. When I said that I liked boys and girls, he looked relieved and started laughing before saying, "So do I."
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. It was adorable, and it makes me so happy that we came out to each other on the same day. My little brother's reaction was really funny. He was just like, "Cool, now we can talk about hot actresses."
Nice.
That is a little brother thing to say, for sure.
Right.
But the older brother, he's like, she says relieved in all caps. Like, so do I.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I don't have to come out alone now.
Yeah.
There's someone else who relates.
I love when you see families and two siblings turn out okay.
Right.
Like, it just... definitely a person who doesn't believe in the fact that you choose to be gay. I don't think so. I think I've always known I was gay. However, I love to weigh the balances of nature versus nurture.
Right.
Where
you're talking to a psychology study here.
So
like, that is a big nature versus nurture.
Were you completely born with this gene? Is it hereditary? Is that why two siblings have it? Or is it the fact that they
something
had
that
two
happens?
Parents? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
They had the same set of parents, so now,
Yeah. I say, like, speaking from my experience growing up with 3 siblings, like, it was obvious from, like, the early age that I was different than my sisters were. Mm-hmm. So, like, there's the other thing, like, we came from the same 2 parents. Like, my parents had all 3 of us.
Yeah.
So, like, we came from the same genes, but like, even as a toddler, I was different than my sisters were. And that also comes with, like, your personality. Like, where does a baby get its personality from?
That's true. Yeah.
So, we're just going to go into a whole psychology lesson here real quick.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. No, but are you the only lesbian of your family?
I am the only lesbian.
Okay.
My middle sister is straight, and then I hope she's okay with me saying this, but then again, she did out me first. My youngest sister has recently come out as bisexual.
You have been outed.
Ha! Got you back. I'm kidding, Kinsey. I love you.
Yeah. No. I mean.
Yeah.
I
So
am the only.
my parents got one of each. We got the lesbian, we got the straight, we got the bisexual.
Oh, nice! You just got the whole spectrum.
We got everything. Right.
Okay. Yeah. No.
I'm sure my dad loves this. Absolutely loves this. He comes from a very small Catholic town.
Oh, so good.
So, yeah.
So good.
Yeah,
Daddy Worm, I'm sorry. Yeah.
It has been really nice to see him, like, he grew up in his ways. He had beliefs that he was taught from when he was, able to walk and talk. Yeah. So it's really nice to see him try just to learn learn new ways, or to learn how things are nowadays, or to how things have always been. We've just been hiding.
True. Yeah. I like that. The realization that, people around you, like, the things you say can be effective to the people around you without you knowing it. Because my father is one of the most offensive men that have walked this earth, and it's something that I've lived with all my life, so it doesn't bother me typically. So it's actually really hard to offend
I met
me.
your dad once, and, like, he seems like he's very straightforward guy. Like, if he thinks it, he's gonna say it. But I found him funny.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I have a very dry sense of humor, so
good.
that could be it.
Good. Yeah. No, he says racist things. He says sexist things. He says homophobic things. He's very much I shouldn't be censored. I should be allowed to say what if I was thinking it, or if I said it, I promise you other people are thinking it type guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's very.
I feel like that is also what prepared you to be a bartender too.
Maybe.
You got tough skin with that going on.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've had very offensive regulars. A couple of you out there, Jeff, I love you. But
oh, Jeff.
Yeah, he won't ever watch this. But if he does,
I will. If you watch this, I will buy you a bottle of whatever you want, because the fact that you just looked up a gay podcast. Yeah. In general.
So I'm pretty used to people trying to offend me or saying offensive things, trying to be funny, because that's just something I've always grown up with.
You run into that one a lot. They think they're funny, and you're really just rude.
And I'm just like, you might not think you're talking to who you think you're talking to, because I understand I look like a white woman and I dress straight when I'm working, but you're not talking to a white woman who's straight, at all whatsoever. I don't have Christian values like you do. Like, I don't, these aren't things. So, the fact that The fact that a parent has two gay.
It's amazing.
Gay, bisexual, or pansexual.
Pansexual too. Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, that's always really good. But okay. Sorry, we went on a tangent. As
right
always.
At the end there, I feel like we did good with tangents this episode. You know, we've been trying, guys. We don't want to talk y'all's ears off too much, but we still want to make sure that y'all get the information that we're trying to put out there and just the comfortability of it all. So that's what we're here for, just to be comfortable.
So to bring it all in, guys, if you really liked what you saw here, if you like the value, and you want to support our channel, please like, subscribe, and go ahead and comment down your stories. We really want to hear from you. That's kind of the goal, is to create a little bit of a community where we get to share coming out stories, to show the people who haven't came out that it's important. I recently went to dinner with everybody to celebrate a mutual friend, and I learned that one of my bisexual friends that I've known for years, like over a decade now, she just recently came out to her parents. I didn't know she wasn't out yet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so and
you just didn't know.
Yeah, I just didn't know.
Because she's out to you.
Yeah, very much. And see, I forget that as people, in our circles, we're kind of a safe space, so they have no problem telling me that, they like women or
they like men, or they just like someone for their personality.
Exactly. So I get, people tell me they're bisexual all the time, and I forget that that's something that they also have to come out to their family. And typically, if you're bisexual and you're dating a guy, it's not something you have to do.
Right.
You don't have to tell anyone, but I guess they were having a conversation that was important.
Normal.
Yeah, because you're normal. You're in a normal relationship.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah, right? And so, the gay thing came up, and her parents weren't very accepting of it. And so she basically was like, this is also, I'm part of, I identify with one of the letters in the LGBTQ community, right? And it changes minds, it changes lives. Wow. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create this little community to kind of show everyone that, hey, it's okay to be out. It's okay to be the person you want to be.
Yeah, and there's safe spaces for y'all out here. If you don't want to comment your story down below, like I said, you can email it to us. If you guys find any, let us know who your favorite person was. We only talked about 4. Let us know who your favorite was out of the 4. Or if we
missed anything. Yeah. If you want to help it. I really enjoyed this deep dive of learning like LGBT
I said, we
history.
we did some research on multiple. So we did have a couple of women lined up throughout history. But, if you guys have any women that you look up to, go ahead and shoot those to us. We'll do some research on them. We're always down to learn something new, especially if it's about our community.
Yeah, that's true, guys. So and if you want to stay anonymous, you don't want to share your story publicly out in the comment section, that's fine. Go ahead and give us a email, shoot us, a nice DM. I have an Instagram. We have an Instagram. We have TikTok, and then we have an email at borngaypodcast at gmail.com. So we'll link all of that down below. Go ahead and check it out. I think that's it, guys. So.
I think that wraps it up. Episode 8 in the books,
right? Love it.
Whoop,
all right, guys. We all have a good week.
Yeah.
I'm Denise.
I'm Lindsay. We're Born This Gay, and we'll see you guys next time.
Hey.